Hello, hello, hello. Whew. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Where is all the news coming from? Oh, anyway, thank you so much for being here. Hmm, hmm. Hold on. Ah, I can feel another split lip coming. Lip. Okay, okay. Ah, all right, so you guys can hear me perfect. Let me see who's in here. Let me see who was here 45 minutes ago. How about that? Okay. Um, wow, you guys have been having quite the conversation. Dorothy Ross from the UK with hugs. That should be the next spy movie. From the UK with hugs. Thank you so much, Dorothy Ross. Elaine Parker. Connie Bomber. All right, so hey, Berta Sanchez, I'm gonna scroll all the way to the end because I know it's like super late for some of you guys. Hopefully, we can be done in an hour. Okay. So I'm scrolling, just making sure there are no super chat, super stickers, or new memberships. Okay, so I don't see anything. If I missed anything, I do regret that. I'm so sorry. Church Nelly, I hope you're doing well. Hey, B10 Pal, glad you're here. Susie Q, Brenda Phillips. All right, let's get on with it then, shall we? So take a look here. E. Jean Carroll says, ooh, ladies, may I have a word with you? We won. We won. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that topic. It could be rather touchy for some people, I'm sure. But this is yet another reason why, yes, let's pray for Pedal's computer. This is yet another reason why you just simply have to make your voices heard. I'll just say that. Hey, Lydia Washington. Lydia has the kaboom on the screen. If you guys want to go ahead and click on that, there is the kaboom. Oh, let me see. Margarita Maxwell. It's a great day in the neighborhood. Thank you so much, Margarita Maxwell. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Or I'm not going to pick on Lionel Richie anymore. But I went back and watched that again, and poor Lionel Richie, he's lost his mojo. But he looks good, though. I mean, the fact that he and Charles are the same age is nothing less than amazing. So, thank you so much for the super chat, Margarita Maxwell. And it is a beautiful day, and there's so many good things happening, and I'm just glad to be here for it. So thank you and happy Wednesday to you, and many happy returns of the day. And Connie Bomber, good people are happier. Yes, yes, that is so true. Good people are much happier today than they were when they went to bed last night, and I can't help but think that that's a good thing. So, with that, Laverne Lockhart, thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh, and just like Connie Balmer, thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Outstanding. And Elaine Parker, how did I almost miss that? Thank you so much for being a member of. You guys are spoiling me. Edna Joseph, thank you so much for watching. Oh, Bernadine Robinson. It's Pedal's computer, but thank you. Yes, thank you. You guys, I'm embarrassed. I am blushing. Do you guys know that I am blushing right now? But thank you so much. It makes me feel very appreciated. And listen, I have no doubt that the work that I put in, and of course, on behalf of the other content creators, I have to say we are very blessed by the people that support our work. Um, and from Duchess of Success, Pedo, of course, from Facts and Two Cents. And I know I'm going to miss someone, but these are people I respect so much. VS Speaks Royally, Sherry and Charday, and of course, hello, Ivy here, and and Lauren Brown. I mean, oh my goodness, I know Anita from My Duke and I. Gosh, don't let me forget anyone, and of course, the lady Sussex, and oh boy, here I go, Claire Kane. Okay, let me stop right now before I start forgetting people. Um, but honestly, these are, oh, and of course, Terrell from Terrellism, the old school squatty, right? Thank you, Lottie, for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here. And Legs, what? No comment, Legs. Now you know what? You know what? You always have something super impressive to say, so I'm a little disappointed, but I'm going to look for you as I go down the line later because you always deliver. But thank you so much for the super sticker. And Mama J, did someone say something, or are you guys just being nice? But thank you so much for the super sticker. I'm starting to get a little embarrassed. I promise you I am. I'm not going to say stop like Phyllis Johnson. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I am I am blushing a bit here, but thank you so much. All right, so hey Black Queen. All right, so I just wanted to share this with you. This is one of those memes that I have been carrying around for a while. Um, you can interpret it any way you like. Some of these things are deliberately ambiguous, thus allowing the viewer to glean from it whatever he or she may. So if you see it one way, or you see it another, or you don't see it at all, he is he's too much. Dorothy Ross, thank you so much for the hugs. Thank you. I appreciate it. And Sean says, Baron, we need to talk about that outfit you had on Camilla in your short video yesterday. Megan's, Megan's is that nice? Kate, okay. But Camilla, come on, Baron. Well, actually, that is from a article that I just made it come alive with some photos and little background music. But as I told you guys, I was going to do more of those since I had to replace my I didn't actually replace it. I just got a computer that I can edit on. So I'm keeping the old desktop computer for sure because it still works, but it's just kind of slow and it doesn't run the editing program the way I need it. So from time to time, if I find a really interesting article, I'm going to, do what I've been doing and share some of those with you. So that wasn't actually something that I had written, but that lady that wrote it, she is definitely a Sussex supporter. And she, as far as I can see, she's been writing about Meghan since 2018. So love her. And I think she works for the Daily Beast, amongst other places. And yeah, so it's a bit of a thought exercise, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look forward to some more of those coming very soon. As a matter of fact, I just identified another one that I wanted to work on for you guys. So thank you guys so much for your support. And thank you, Sean. And let's see, Katie V. Katie V, thank you so much for the super sticker. This is so unexpected. And also, thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. And oh, Manello, thank you so much for the super sticker. And happy Wednesday to you. And thank you so much for watching. Let me go way low with this one. Royal Sussex. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Wednesday to you. All right. So, this is so weird, but okay. Helen Cole, thank you so much. Helen says, great day, love your channel. Really? Okay, well, thank you so much, Helen Cole. And thank you so much for the super sticker. And then Marcia Taylor, thank you so much for this. I can hardly talk. I'm smiling so much my face is hurting. But thank you so much for the super sticker. And also happy Wednesday to you. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. So where was I? Okay. Oh, there's a birthday. Happy birthday, Gilanita. Gilanita. Happy birthday to you. And many happy returns of the day. Wonderful. All right, love birthdays. Okay, so that's that. Now, let's get to this then. Harry scores a victory at the outset of his first phone hacking trial, with publisher of the Daily Mirror apologizing for unlawfully gathering information about him in its reporting that it said warrants some compensation. So Harry has been very big on the apology thing, right? He wants his apologies. He wants, and you know what? Maybe that has something to do with his therapy. Maybe over this period of time that he has been looking inward and also outward to try to find some kind of way to, I guess, deal with those terrible things that happened to him, the things that happened with his mother. You know, he wants an accountability and, yes, an apology, an acknowledgement. I believe that if we get more of these apologies, maybe some of these um, newspapers, these rags, these tabloids, maybe if they apologize publicly and the public hear those apologies, maybe that would do something to take away some of the public's appetite for the type of reporting that they've been doing. I don't know if that's Harry's strategy, but maybe if they publicly apologize, maybe with that acknowledgement, maybe it will change the I suppose the strategy, the format, something may change from that. I'm not sure exactly what could happen or what will happen, but I'm hoping that their way of doing business will be forever changed, um, part and partially because of the ability to apologize. And then also they said they are going to pay him compensation, which means that he won't have to pay their court costs, I'm sure. So, that's always something. I don't want Harry to have to pay anyone else's court costs, because that's like an insult already added, or should I say, added to the injury that they have caused by mistreating him so awfully all these years. So, good for you, Harry. And then let's see, Elaine Babb. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member. And of course, for watching Royal Sussex. So this, I guess it's a graph. No, a chart. No. Anyway, so at the very center of it are those three entities: the press, the police, and the politicians. Now, I kind of think that there ought to be a fourth, um, what do you call it, a focal point, and that should be the royal family, because a lot of what the press does that has caused harm to Harry has come from within inside the house, as we have heard from sad little man, it's much easier to blame. Wait a minute, I haven't done this for a while. It's so much easier for them to blame anything uncomfortable on racism rather than address the fact that the negativity toward them is coming from within the royal family. The calls are coming from inside the house. Oh man, but it is true. The calls are coming from inside the house. So you have the press, favorable coverage, tips offs, jobs, consultancies, columns, suppression of stories. Okay, again, I don't know why I don't know who made this, okay, but I don't know how you don't have the royal family in there. Favorable coverage, that's the royal family. Tip offs, that covers the royal family. Remember, the calls are coming from inside the house. Jobs, consultancies, well, they appear on television. They panel different things because of their access to the royal family. They're considered a royal expert. It is the gift that keeps giving, right? And then, okay, I'm not even going to say how the police fit into this because I'm not sure. And I'm not saying that this totally has to do with Harry, but okay, let me take that back. So with the police, access stories, exclusive tip offs, private info, hospitality, jobs. Okay, so the police have been instrumental in the way that the press have gone after people. And they have even said that sometimes the press, I'm not pointing out any of them individual for the sake of the lawyers, but the press have been known to take a little payola from the tabloid media. Governance and resources, tips offs, patronage. I'm not sure which direction I'm supposed to go with this. But let me see, discretion on policy, time and now. Yeah, I mean, all of this, if you ask me, applies in some way to the royal family. Access to stories, exclusive tip-offs, patronage, media, policy breaks, and what else? And jobs. All of that is a benefit of being a royal reporter. And most of those royal reporters eat from the king's table. In some form or fashion, they eat from the king's table. They travel with them. They give them the favorable coverage. The reason why Harry went off on them, what caused Harry to really get upset with them, is that they were traveling with the Sussexes and writing crap about them repeatedly. But yet, every time the Sussexes went somewhere, they would, for every nice thing that they said about Meghan, there would be so many critiques. For every polite thing they said about Harry, there would be so many critiques. You don't get any of that with the Cambridges. And it's not that things go, I mean, how could they accompany them to a food bank? They have no food. They go to the Ukrainian Center, Cultural Center. They don't even bring coloring books. They don't bring any toys for the kids, for the displaced. They didn't bring anything, not a blanket or a jumper, nothing. And so that is something to criticize about. Did that happen? No. When Kate did her early years, nobody understands what Kate is talking about. You cannot tell me that the royal reporters that have covered Kate have any clue what the whole concept of the early years is about. But yet they go along and they nod their heads and they tug their ears and they say absolutely nothing any way of a critique except for she's really coming into herself. Oh, Kate is keening. Kate is really coming along. Now, to be fair, we have reached out to Kensington Palace for a response from Kate, and this is what she had to say.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously to this day, and going forward and things, it is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
At that point, I need for Oprah to say, "What?" At that point, I need Oprah to have that look. What? That's what I need to see is Oprah's shocked look and what? So anyway, let me see here. Take a look at a couple of your comments. Let me see. Lorna Williams says, I want all those tabloids bankrupt. They are criminal enterprises. Well, people have been saying that the tabloids are just like a protection racket. And I've explained what racketeering is before. I will explain it again. And this is my best understanding. Racketeering is when you have a shop, right? And then some like ruffians come into your place of business and they say, oh, it'd be a shame if this place burned down in the middle of the night. It'd be a shame if somebody came in here and smashed up everything with a baseball bat. It'd be a shame if something happened to you or your family, right? Your wife does work at so-and-so, right? So in exchange for them not doing those things or protecting you from trouble, you have to do favors for them or give them free things or just flat out pay them. That is protection. You're buying protection from people who could actually be the ones you need protection from. And so that is how the tabloids work, is you're buying protection by you keeping quiet or making comments or taking a position or giving them access. That is tantamount to you paying for your own protection. If it means do nothing, or if it means to, I suppose, vote for a particular law or something like that, or to just not be as vocal with your criticism of, let's say, I don't know, the royal family for an example, then that's what that is. And it's amazing how that same coerciveness that you would get from, let's say, some mafioso or something, that is the same way and that these tabloids operate. They're very heavy-handed. And who was that I saw the other day that was trying to have a conversation about something? Oh, it was the guy yesterday. He was talking about them being arrested and unable to protest on the coronation. And all of a sudden, when he said 350 million pounds, where do you get that figure from? The 300, and he says, well, we could debate that. She would not move on to the next topic. I think that was it, what's her name? Burley, whatever her name is. She wouldn't even move to the next topic because she wanted to get into a semantical argument about the 350 million pounds. And she said, well, there's only one outlet that said that, and they have since walked it back. The truth is, with the security price, if they have said that it was 150 million, I'm pretty sure 350 million pounds is the more accurate cost of everything that happened. I'm sure that's probably right. They won't even give the final price for the Queen's funeral. Whatever price they say the royal family costs, they don't factor in security because their excuse is that would actually make them unsafe. So that is the semantical arguments that you get from even the more traditional reporters that feel like they are duty bound to protect the royal family. There is no objectivity. And in some cases, Nicholas Winchell, is it? Nicholas Winchell, there's no pretense of objectivity. It is all about this institution has been around for 1,000 years. Phyllis Brooks, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you also for being a member of Royal Sussex. B10 Powell says, well, Piers Morgan has made it about the royal family. He said when questioned that this is an attack in the, or is it on the royal family by Prince Harry? Yeah, that is he's using the royal family for cover, but you know that already. He's using them for cover. So it makes it seem as though everything that he's done has been in the name of protecting the Queen and now the King, protecting the institution, protecting the people of Britain by protecting the royal family, who I'm sure, you know, Charles, with his nearly $2 billion fortune, could afford his own protection. So they are an extension of the institution. I really do believe that. Let's see. Paulette Claus says, congratulations to Prince Harry, who is standing up for what he believes in. So proud of Prince Harry. God blessing. Yes, thank you so much for that, Paulette. Okay, let me see. Beverly McCaskill says, did anyone see the video under Sussex Royal Court title? Yes, that's another channel, Sussex Royal Court. Thank you. Sir Harry's Summit, a group of people talking about Prince Harry's court case. The one gentleman was so good in breaking it all down. Well, I think I may have that clip. I think I was going to play that later if we're talking about the same one. So let me continue here. There it is. Sir Harry's Summit. See how we have that connection, Beverly? See how we have that connection? That is so weird. But yeah, I'm going to play this little soundbite for you. I hope the audio goes well, but that's just where I was headed to. Okay. All right. I think this works. That is just where I was headed. Panther325, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you also for being a member of Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you. Okay. So, boy, I tell you, that is everywhere, that little clip. But
against the Murdoch Company, and today his case against the Daily Mirror starts. The significance of Harry is twofold. A, he's got enough money that he is saying, I don't care what you offer me, I don't care how much it costs if I lose, I'm going to have a hearing. Do you know there's there's nearly 2,000 phone hacking cases have been silenced, where the people suing have been paid off before they could get to court. The risks of going on were just too terrifying financially. Okay, so we are moving towards an evidentiary hearing. The other point of Harry is, if, as is expected, he turns up to give evidence, the newspapers who would like to ignore this story can't do that. They're going to have to cover it. It's beautiful. But what isn't going to happen is that you're going to see structural reform of newspapers in this country so that they start telling the truth instead of dealing in falsehood and distortion. If we had succeeded, we would have that. This country would still be in the European Union if we'd achieved that. But you still have newspapers who abuse their power and, using falsehood, distortion, and spite, damage this country over and over again.
Let's do that again. Let's do that again.
You know, Prince Harry's got 3 pieces of litigation going on against the Mail, against the Murdoch Company, and today his case against the Daily Mirror starts. The significance of Harry is twofold. A, he's got enough money that he is saying, I don't care what you offer me, I don't care how much it costs if I lose, I'm going to have a hearing. Do you know there's nearly 2,000 phone hacking cases have been silenced, where the people suing have been paid off before they could get to court. The risks of going on were just too terrifying financially. Okay, so we are moving towards an evidentiary hearing. The other point of Harry is, if, as is expected, he turns up to give evidence, the newspapers who would like to ignore this story can't do that. They're going to have to cover it. It's beautiful. But what isn't going to happen is that you're going to see structural reform of newspapers in this country so that they start telling the truth instead of dealing in falsehood and distortion. If we had succeeded, we would have that. This country would still be in the European Union if we'd achieved that. But you still have newspapers who abuse their power and, using falsehood, distortion, and spite, damage this country over and over again.
Okay, so there you go. You heard him, not once but twice. Harry is truly pushing back to some giants. He is really speaking truth to power in a way that either most people have never had, or never have, should I say, or in some cases, they just couldn't afford it. Because if they lost those cases, not only would they have lost the case, but they would have had to pay the court costs for the tabloid that they were suing. And most people could not afford to go to that place that Harry is going to. Harry has made this his life mission, and he is going to see it through. Unlike the other ones, he is not going to cower or buckle to the threat of being financially devastated. He feels as though he can afford to do this, and so do it he shall. And I'm sure, as he said, what did he say? 2,000? Did he say 2,000 cases of that were pending? And most people just take the financial settlement. They have paid out a king's ransom to avoid these cases making it to court. And I think one of the big reasons why the cases were so easily dismissed with, compensation is because there was no class action suit. I don't know, here in the US, like for instance, if you've ever went to file your taxes, right? And you try to go on the government website, the irs.gov, somehow it would steer you to TurboTax. TurboTax has to pay out the consumers in a class action suit. Stuff like that happened here in the US. I don't know how many times I've received a settlement for something I didn't even know I was in. But that's how you get justice. So I don't know if the system is different over there, but it seems as though collectively, yeah, they wouldn't have gotten as much compensation, I'm sure, or maybe they would have. But either way, it would have gone a long way to stop the abuse from the tabloids. I don't know why. I mean, if there has been a class action suit, please tell me. I'm not aware of one. Let's see. Laverne Lockhart, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And Susie Q has a super chat. Hey, Baron, I've been trying for the longest to give a super chat, but it wouldn't go through. Don't know why. Well, you showed up and showed out today. So thank you very much, Susie Q. And thank you for being so supportive and being a member of Royal Sussex. What could I say? We've laughed, we cried, we've pondered the future, and you've been there. So thank you so much for that. And there you go. Thank you for your persistence. Very, very kind of you. Okay, let me see here. Deborah Robinson says, I truly believe that the media, politics, lies, and money go hand in hand in the UK and US. Yeah, I always say you can just hold up a mirror to the US and you'll see Britain on the other side. And likewise, it is so many things that are at play. The I guess part of it is the panic, the fear of other people, or like the image they have where they say that there's so many thousands of people headed to the Mexican border. There are people that wants the president to have a sniper's nest and machine gun pits along the border to stop families from legally seeking asylum. Just like you have people that wouldn't mind the occasional boat going down in the English Channel if it means that those others wouldn't make it here. The thing is, just like many other places, there's a shortage of able-bodied people to work. Who is going to clean the hospitals? Who is going to work as nurses? Who is going to drive the buses? I mean, these are people that come with a skill set that are able to do the work, and yet we would rather have higher prices because there's no able-bodied people to work these jobs. We would rather just see things closed down rather than to give a helping hand, not a handout, but a helping hand to people who will come and pay taxes. That is just, I don't understand that. Except for one thing, they just don't want the wrong people or people of color to somehow creep into the country as though they had a choice about the imperialist countries that have crept into their spaces. They didn't have a choice. They just either had to take it or die. Here, all they want to do is come here and work, not to conquer. I don't get that. I am so unbothered by the fact that people are seeking asylum in the US. That does not bother me. And for anybody who thinks they're going to lose their job, then I tell you what, just work harder. There's nobody taking certain jobs, and we all know that. There are vegetables that are rotting on the vine or in the ground because there's nobody there to do the work. There's a viral video going around of work sites in Florida where there's nobody there to do the labor because the governor, DeSantis, has done everything he could to terrorize the immigrants, the asylum seekers who would have been there to do the work so that there would be more affordable housing in the market. See how that works out? I just cruel for the sake of cruel. Helen Cole has a super chat, by the way. Thank you so much for that. Harry is honoring his mother. Yes, thank you so much for that. That is so true. I believe where it starts is with his mother. It continues with the way he was treated. And then, of course, it continues even further with the abuse of his family. Even his child, his newborn child that they had while living in Frogmore, they even abused Archie. So there's no limit to the evil. Let me see. Windsor motto: never complain, never explain. Is royal family petrified? What is that? Alma mater? A code of silence for criminal activity and a refusal to give evidence to authorities. Royal Rota and media loyal to the oath of that word right there. Thank you so much for your comment. And let's see. Beverly says this is going to be the monarchy's most worst nightmare. Willie Boy and Chucky had better get on the phone and start apologizing to the Duchess, Meghan, and the children on their knees. And I'm sure it does not even have to be a public thing. Harry just wants the acknowledgement. And of course, moving forward, stop effing around. That's all he wants. What was that movie with Mel Gibson where it was like a certain amount of money that he wanted reimbursed, and they kept getting the amount wrong because it wasn't so high, and because they wouldn't pay him, he started taking them out one by one, and he's just like, every time they would say the wrong thing, he'd roll his eyes because they just didn't seem to get how simplistic it was to make him and all their troubles go away. So, not to say that Harry is going to go on some spree like Mel Gibson did in that movie, but it just reminds me of that. It would be so simple to just apologize. You're guilty. You know what you've done. You're not going to, oh, Harry is delusional and crazy. You pull that with his mother and so many other people. It's not going to work with Harry. He has a strong Black woman in his house. Got that? He has a strong Black woman in his house. That is just not going to fly. He doesn't have passive people around him. Harry is surrounded with power players. That's the big difference. There's not sycophants that are giving him bad suggestions and misinformation. He's surrounded with self-made people, very capable people, and people who don't have the deference like other people may have had or surrounding him had he stayed over there. And just like anybody else, if you're going to go after these institutions, you have to do it from the outside, not from the inside. If he was still on the inside, they would do everything that they could using the rules against him. And of course, the same rules would never apply to them, right? So they would use the rules against him. And of course, he would not be able to get any type of justice. Whereas William, he didn't never complain, explain. William took a lofty payout and said nothing. That stayed confidential. Well, the same way you paid him and didn't say anything, pay Harry, apologize, and then leave him alone. That's it. It doesn't even have to be a public thing. Apologize to him and his wife and then move on. There's nobody asking them to crawl on their knees across pavement or gravel. Apologize and move on. And they just don't want to do it. It would just be so much simpler for everybody involved. Harry's not a punk. That's the problem. He's not a punk. Or should I say that's their problem, is that he's not a punk. Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, I have another little sound bite that I'm going to play for you. This one, okay, well, anyway, it does a good job of explaining in a slightly, this is still the UK media. But anyway, let me play that for you, and you'll see for yourself. Okay. Are we good? Yes. And guess what? Same as yesterday. I thought I saved it, and I didn't. Oh, Lord. Here we go with that again. I could have sworn I had that, and I did not. Okay, so I'm just going to have to explain it the best way that I know how. And that is, okay, I believe she said that you would be forgiven to not know that there are actually, and I think I got this right, that there are some 3 cases that that are going on for Harry, and one is with the Mirror, and I think he still has. Oh my goodness, I know I'm going to get some part of that wrong, but that is why I was depending on that one, and now I don't have it. So I am going to see if I can scroll along and find it again. And if not, then we'll just have to come back to that one tomorrow, because I wanted to get that one right, which is why I was depending on that soundbite. And I did not save it. Oh, all right. Oh, the horror. I think I saved it and then I unsaved it. So, but have you guys, I don't have that video because definitely I cannot do that as a video. But did you guys see Piers Morgan pop out of that doorway? It looked like maybe he had just took out the trash or parked his car or something like that. And that is everywhere on Twitter, where it's like a pig in a box. He just pops out like pig in a box. Instead of Jack in the box, it's like hog in a box. And then, of course, he says that he's not going to apologize to Harry, and that Harry needs to apologize for invading the royal families. I mean, every other thing that I see as I scroll through the Twitter is Piers Morgan popping out of that doorway. Oh my God, you guys got to see it. But every other thing is Piers Morgan popping out of that doorway. It is hilarious. But yeah, I could not. And it was so blurry when I tried to do a screenshot, it was not worth it. So I decided not to even try it. But oh, wow. That is a good photo of Harry. Oh man, I've got to save that one. He is looking very well. I'll share it with you. But these are the ones from when he went to court the first time. And every time I think I've seen the best of them, I always find something else. So, yeah, definitely a keeper. Okay, let me try. And you guys, I did not know this, but did you guys realize that Alex wears my shirt Beresford? Do you know that he invited himself on the show that day? At least that's what I think Piers Morgan said, is that Alex invited himself on the show the day that Piers Morgan set a new land speed record as a mammal on 2 feet storming out of that studio. He invited himself on there, and Piers Morgan was furious because he said that Alex invited himself and that he felt like he had been ambushed. That he said, you don't attack a colleague like that. And and wait, this is the interesting part. He said that something told me I had better get out of there before I do something that I would have regretted. And so when they asked him what that something might have been, of course he didn't have. Now you know darn well, Piers Morgan did not want to mess with Alex. You know that there is no universe where Piers Morgan, I'm just going to say it, that Piers Morgan would have been brazen enough to try to mix it up with Alex Wears My Shirt Beresford on TV or any place else for that matter, on television, in a parking lot, at a pub, a saloon, or something like that. Where in the world, the most athletic thing Piers Morgan has ever done was run out of the studio. So please don't try to convince us that you're some kind of tough guy that was going to try to mix it up with Alex Wears My Shirt Beresford. You didn't want any of that, and you know it. So okay, well, right, Church Nelly. I haven't shared one of those photos in a while, but I know how could I be so careless to bring it up and not have one of them readily available, right? But I got you next time, okay? I got you next time. Alex, where's my shirt, Beresford? Okay, so let me go on here. So right here it says Piers Morgan knew of phone hacking when at the Mirror High Court hears. Barrister acting for Prince Harry and others say former editor must have known about illegal behavior. Piers Morgan knew about illegal phone hacking when he was editor of the Daily Mail and has been something alleged, is it? Let me see if that's what that is. Aha, alleged. Okay, at the High Court. The first day of the phone hacking trial, initially initiated, that is, by Prince Harry and other well known figures, heard claims that illegal activities, including voicemail interception, was carried out on an industrial scale by staff at Mirror newspaper. David Sherborne, the barrister acting for Prince Harry and the other alleged victims, told the court that Morgan must have known about illegal behavior at the newspaper he edited between 1995 and 2004. Well, um, there was actually someone who appeared on Piers Morgan show on Talk TV that actually confronted him. The guy, I'm trying to remember, the guy said to Morgan, that's just like when you hack a dead teenage girl's telephone. And Piers Morgan said, oh, you want to throw around, and then you better talk to your lawyer about that. And he said, so if I was you, I would take that back. He said, I'm not taking anything back. Oh my God, that was so good. This guy, Pierce thought he was going to shred this guy like he does everybody else. hang on, hang on. You know how he always says in that very pompous voice, hang on. And then he puts his hand up to try to, stifle any debate or to talk over people. And this guy just said it. And he just leaned in. And when Piers Morgan was like so furious and threatening him, he just put his elbow on the count on the thing there, and he put his hands under his chin and just sat there like a little lovesick puppy listening to mock Pierce as much as he could. Oh my God, you guys, that was hilarious. If I can find it, I will. Well, if I can find it on YouTube, I will definitely put a link. I can't do the video, but I'll put a link on the community tab. But this kid he was fearless with Piers Morgan. And even though Piers tried to sell him on this idea that your lawyers are gonna feel differently about it, he didn't care. He did not care. Piers Morgan is trending everywhere today. There are like so many videos circulating right now with old and new of Piers Morgan, including the confrontation with Alex Where's My Shirt Beresford. Let me see here. So Andrew Bodie says, I can't get the membership on my phone. Every time I hit join, it just takes me back to the channel. Nothing highlighted to join. If I can, I will try to put it here on the screen if possible. But thank you so much for trying. I really do appreciate that. And thank you for your continued support. Thank you very much. Okay, let me see here. Punk Moron says Cookies and Cream is a jackass. He's nothing but a shallow, obnoxious bully. He can dish out insults and abuse, but can't take being called out for it. He attacked and disrespected, that is, Harry's wife relentlessly. Gosh, who was that just said, oh my, I'm telling you, it's so many people that are coming down on Piers. I can't remember who said what, but it was someone who was that. Oh, I know who it was. It's the guy that always takes up for Kamala. I forget what his channel is called, but I wanted to at least share the sound, but then he started dropping some interesting language, all of it applicable, but none of it I could share. But he pointed out that Piers has had problems in the past, and that in particular, he seems to have an end for women of color, Black women, he said. And then he said, the reason why he's so angry, and then that's when it got too graphic. That's when it got too graphic. I was like, nope. I had hit, save, and I said, nope, I won't be able to do this one today. So, but thank you so much, Cookies and Cream. And to continue here, I took a little license. That's supposed to be a different image of Piers Morgan. But I thought if I'm going to share the image of Piers Morgan, I have to share it like I see it, not the way that they, had it. So that's all, folks. That's all, Piers. So anyway, it says, I think that's, what is that up there at the top? Oh yeah, according to legal filings. It says here, in one alleged incident, Morgan asked a journalist to name the source of a celebrity story and was told the information had, oh Lord, let me bring that down, had come, all right, from voicemails. In another, a witness described how Morgan was laughing mockingly as he entertained the Daily Mirror newsroom by repeatedly playing staff a private voicemail left by Paul McCartney. By the way, this was in the, what was it? The Guardian. Claimed that, left by Paul McCartney for his then girlfriend, Heather Mills. In another, a witness claimed Morgan knew the default PIN code that could be used to illegally access voicemails on different mobile phone networks. And what they're referencing there is that in the early days of the cell phone or the mobile phones, there was very crude technology when it came to the playback of voicemails, which is how that one particular teenager who had died tragically, her parents found out that someone had accessed her voicemail, and not realizing that people in the know could do that, it gave her parents false hope that she was still alive. But that was only because the newspaper, was it the Mirror at the time? The Mirror had gained access, if I'm correct, it may be a different paper, help me if I'm wrong, but they had gained access to her voicemail after she was deceased. And it was very cruel to give false hope to the girl's parents. Absolutely cruel. Only for them to find out that she had been long since dead. Morgan, now a presenter on Rupert Murdoch's Talk TV, has always denied knowingly commissioning or publishing stories based on illegally obtained voicemails. Piers Morgan is trending for a reason. He is trending for a reason because he is finally, at the end of his rope. He is not going to weasel out of this. It won't be so easy. And that's not to say that he hasn't gotten away with a lot in the past, but I don't think that this one is going to just go away. And let me see. Prince Harry blames press intrusion for Chelsea breakup. Yeah, and that was the other thing. His breakup with Chelsea. The stuff that they put Chelsea Davies, is it Davies? The stuff that they put her through was so horrendous. And it was tracking her car, and of course hacking her phone, and of course the harassment of her family. All of those things combined, and she was just like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do it. And so Harry said that the things that he experienced from these tabloids caused him a great deal of depression and paranoia. And this started at a very young age, at a time when they had agreed to let the boys be boys. And then, of course, there was that obsession that one reporter had about, oh, Harry is on drugs, and we have to find out that Harry's on drugs, and Harry went to rehab, and all of those things that should have been a very personal thing with your family to work out. But the thing is, he hadn't gone to rehab. He had gone there as part of an outing, I think, with his father, and then they reimagined the story or reworked the story to make it seem like Harry was the one that was in rehab. No, he was going there on official royal duty. In other words, he hadn't done anything that most teenagers wouldn't have gotten involved in, but that did not matter. They needed a story. They wanted the sensation. And of course, by tearing him down, they could big up William. And I believe that was the other point, was to help to elevate William's stature by showing that Harry is, the bad seed, or the, what do you call it? The, I love these photos that people are posting of Meghan laughing. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me take a look at a couple of your comments here, and then I'm going to move on. Let me see. Lorna Williams says if Pierce Morgan is with what is WME as his PR management, they are in conflict of interest. Some squatties said WME. Oh, William Morrison represents him. So please don't take my word for it. Don't have anything to do with a court case. It has nothing to do with that court case. They thought they got away, and King Harry said nope. Let me see. Okay, let me continue. How do I keep doing that? Okay. Anastasia Isabella, how's the move? You moved, right? How's the move? Hey, Iris. Let me see here. So, right here, this is from Yahoo. It says Piers Morgan trial. Piers Morgan must have known about illegal hacking of celebrities' latest court update. I really didn't need this, but it was just an excuse for me to put a hog head on hog head, and that was the only reason why I did that. Let me see. Unsure if Omid Scobie has testified or offered to testify of Pierce' knowledge of hacking. Yes, I heard. I could not. This is the thing. I was looking because I was in the spaces and I heard them talking about Omid Scobie. But by the time I got there, it was a little too late to know what they were talking about. And so when I went to Omid Scobie's Twitter, I tried to find something, anything about what was happening today, and I couldn't find anything. So please help me because I don't know what's going on with Omid Scobie and anything to do with what's happening today. I looked, I could not find it. But I heard people talking about him, so I'm like, well, it must be something there. Oh, you know what? I think I was looking in the wrong place. I think I was looking in the wrong place for what I needed. Let me try this. Okay, if that doesn't work, let me try this. Huh. Yeah, that didn't work. I don't have it. I ain't got it. I'm like, okay, let me try that. Oh, Iris, you. I can't. Iris just sent me a photo, which unfortunately I can't share, but Iris, thank you for that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share that in mixed company. Although spiritually, I agree with the assertion, but I am. Oh man, but thank you for that. You just you went there, and I'm here for it. Okay, so let me move on. And so I have this very startled looking image of Piers Morgan. I love this. This is like my new favorite image of Piers. Startled, befuddled, whatever that means. Oh man, Connie, I wish I could, but Pierce is depicted as part of the nether regions, and so for that reason, I'm unable to share it. Oh my goodness, but that is fun. Oh man. Okay, so right here it says, "Hey Pierce Morgan, I hope you've got plenty of money stashed away. You're gonna need it by the time Harry finished with you. Wrenched, what is that? Rinsed? I think I got the word. Tell me, is it a criminal offense to hack people's phone? Could even be worse. So this is how Piers Morgan is being trolled. This is just a very small sample of the trolling that he's gone through today. And then that image there at the bottom, that is from that soundbite that I played for you guys earlier today. Let me see. What is that? Duchess of Sussex or Success? Reference of Omid turning over evidence to. Oh, okay. Okay. I tried. I could not find anything, but all right, got it. Oh, you know what? Oh, I know where I need to go and look. I know I need to go and look. One of my reliable sources, I did not even go there today. And that is always a mistake. Let me see here. Oh, come on. Let me see here. All right. The Express is a sister title of the Mirror, which Prince Harry is suing for unlawful information gathering. The trial began today. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me see. Lady on TikTok talking about her experience working as a server at the restaurant with Megan. And oh, okay. This is interesting. I don't have a slide for it, but gosh, I hope there's no music. But let me see. I'm going to play this for you. I don't have a slide for it, but let me hope. If there's any music, I'm going to have to stop it immediately.
Yes, everybody saw her, but that's where the PDR was. You had no choice. Once they were all in the PDR, the doors were closed. Directly outside the PDR was a la carte dining section. And in that section was her security detail, because you could see directly into the private dining room. So you could see who was going in and out. And also people from the restaurant group and other people we knew we could sit back there and trust, because they didn't give a shit Meghan Markle was here. I was originally supposed to be the main server, but the firm, I think, can't confirm that, but I think it was the firm. They wanted me to sign an NDA. I refused. And so I became the second, which means that I would just go into the room to help assist, serve, clear, if drinks need to be dropped off, wine poured, whatever. Every time I was in the room, everything that I heard, saw, experienced firsthand, she is lovely, respectful, kind, was just having dinner with her friends. That's it. Like any one of us. It's not newsworthy at all. I guess it's newsworthy because people have this preconceived notion about her. Nothing that I experienced was like that with her. She was great. Always please and thank you. Always eye contact. Always engaging. Having a really great time with her friends in this private room. So she had no excuse to be anything other than herself, because she was now in a safe environment. And so I saw, in my opinion, what I feel was the real Meghan. She was just alone with her friends. And I was a bit of a fly on the wall, and I thought she was fantastic. The night ended, she left, she said goodbye to all of us. I did say to my colleague after, everything was said and done, what did you think of her? Since he was the main person in the room and he spent a significant amount of time in there. He said to me, Krista, I got to tell you, she's one of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my life. Not celebrity, not civilian, doesn't matter. Totally the nicest human I have ever met in my life. He couldn't stop raging about her. So maybe everybody needs to back off a little bit and give her a little bit of grace, because she's really lovely.
All right. Okay. So that was just something I came across by chance, and I'm going to share that with you guys. I think I'll probably do a little short video for that later, but that was lovely. I love it. Right. I'm going to give that person a bell. I love that. And I wish there was more people that, that came forward with that type of testimony about the Duchess of Sussex. But it can be so difficult. But, this is an American woman who doesn't have that fear of the tabloid media. So that's what the difference is right there. is that you know, I just think that that's plays into the ability to speak candidly about Megan. So you guys are telling me that Omit's thing is in the Guardian. Okay, let me see what I can find there. Oh boy, I mean, it is so much news today. I'm just like getting a little excited. I'm getting a little excited. Okay, that's not it. That's 9 months old. I can't find one from today. Well, you know what? I'll have to try to do that later. But yeah, thank you guys for that information. And there it is, 10 hours ago. Nope, that's not it. Okay, so let me continue with what I have here on the screen. Okay, this is really okay. So whilst all this is going on, whilst Piers Morgan is being really like skewered today, right? While Harry is probably somewhere um, enjoying the satisfaction of knowing, I know, right? While that things are moving, things are progressing, right? That he is being heard, the information is out there, even if nothing comes of this stuff, at the very least, is part of the permanent record. It is seeing the light of day. And, you know, the young people are going to be tick-tocking about Piers Morgan and everything. What do you guys think very smug William was doing? Huh? Very conceited William. William today was, I guess, paying it forward. His royal smugness, that's what I'm calling him, his royal smugness. Prince William has given a top honor to a former staff member who made a bullying complaint about Meghan Markle. Jason Knauf was made a lieutenant of the Royal Victorian Order at Windsor Castle today. Photos show the heir to the throne smiling as he hands the gong, that is, the gong, to his ex-senior advisor. What is a gong? Is that something to do with a pulled pork sandwich? Mr. Knauf worked for both William and Kate and Harry and Meghan over the years. He was the Sussex's communications secretary for a while, and in October 2018 accused the Duchess of being a bully in an email. Okay, so that email is the very information that his royal smugness, and probably Kate too, told him to hand over to the Daily Mail to try to make sure that Meghan could not win her case against Lord Nappyhead's paper, which was paid out for an unspecified amount. And if you look right here, the reason why we are sure of this, the reason why I'm not going to say allegedly, is because Meghan Markle's private messages handed over with William's approval. Palace veteran says right there, that is Dickie Arbiter, Meghan Markle's private messages handed over with William's approval. And that is coming from a palace veteran. Dickie Arbiter used to be a press person for Queen Elizabeth II. Prince William and Kate would have authorized an aide to reveal. There is no way that Jason Knauf would have, I guess, risked violating his NDA to go forward with information. Now, this information was revealed, which I have some skepticism about his source, but it was revealed at a time. Is that because it's shaped like a gong? It looks like a little miniature gong, the way it hangs, or what? Anyway, so that information was revealed at a time and a place when it could be damaging to Meghan. The only time that the information was brought up, the idea that there was an investigation of bullying, they only brought that out because they knew that Harry and Meghan had an interview with Oprah, and I think they call it what do they call it? You were trying to inflect or whatever, but they were trying to call Meghan out for what they are, meaning bullies. Everybody knows that the royal family is full of bullies. We've seen Charles having his little childish, petulant meltdowns. Um, and let's see, Andrew, all of them. They're all a bunch of bullies. They all treat the help just like that, the help. And here you have someone, we just heard the testimony of someone who works in the food industry, someone who refused to sign an NDA, said that Meghan is being portrayed in a way that is totally not accurate. That's not the person that she saw. I contact, hello, thank you, please, etc. But we're supposed to believe that Meghan had this deep-seated rage inside of her. And so because it wasn't true, they leaned in and tried to make it even more true with the help of what? The tabloid media. The problem is you could not find one person, not one person that Meghan has ever worked with that could collaborate any claims that she's some kind of bully. Everything was totally opposite. But in spite of that, William, the bully, William is awarding someone who worked for him, someone who acted and spoke out against his sister-in-law, and of course, by doing that, who acted against his brother. Let me say this one more time. Jason Knauf is the help. And all of those things that I swear, I would just swear are totally untrue based on everything that we have learned. I would say it could not be true. All of those lies that they have told about Meghan that we know are not true, even if there was any hint of that being any type of truth, it does not matter to me. Jason Knauf is the help, not family, the help. And the only reason why you would allegedly direct somebody like that to act out against your brother's wife, your brother's family, your brother's future, the only reason why you would do that is because you are so petty and so smug and so entitled that you really don't care what the consequences are. So long as you come out on top, so long as you get to be right, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who's hurt, so long as it's not you. So William, along with Jason, was willing to throw Meghan under the bus in order to, I guess, save face, to win the argument, to put Harry in his place, to put that American in her place. I don't know what the point of it was, other than the Kensington Palace is William's kingdom. William ruled over the Kensington Palace. Everyone who worked there had to show deference to him. And that was just that. It did not matter. He was the king of Kensington Palace. And so if there was any type of, I guess, how do I put it? If there was some type of element of bullying going on, I'm more than certain that it was coming from his side of things, and that the people, the culture that they cultivated at Kensington Palace to act against Meghan and Harry is, and let me tell you exactly why I believe that to be true. As we have found out, the Queen and the Queen's household was totally, allegedly disrespected by Charles and his household, right? They had very little deference for the Queen, it has been reported, allegedly toward the end of her life. Where did that culture come from? It came from the Prince Regent in all but name only. And so the same thing happens at Kensington Palace. If there were any alleged lack of deference, respect, or consideration for the Sussexes, it came straight from the top because they had no fear that they would lose their jobs. They had no fear that they had misstepped or taken a wrong turn because they were likely made aware that it was okay. I mean, after all, if that's how they feel at the top, then that's how we act here at the bottom. We don't like her anyway. She's an American. She's a person of color. And as you can see, Harry living in Nottingham Cottage, living beneath the level of most of the employees that lived on the aides that lived in the grace and favor. Harry's little cottage was like some type of rat trap in comparison to the way the Queen's aides lived or William's aides lived and just about everybody else. Anybody else that had accommodations on Kensington Palace likely lived better than Harry. And I think that was something that was, shall I say, ordained from the top. In other words, William. That's what I believe. I believe William made that okay. And Harry just did not realize that he could have better. He didn't really care because he didn't want to be there in the first place. So Lex says, I would peg that JK knows where all the pulled pork, that is Jason now, pulled pork sandwiches and Baltimore enjoys are located and supplies him. I get where you're going with that. Like, for instance, do you know a good restaurant that I can go to in Poland? A place where they have pulled pork sandwiches. Oh, man. And of course, as we know, some people probably keep that on speed dial. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I've had my thoughts about that. But thank you so much, Legs. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm like way behind here. But, oh, man. That the whole thing with Jason Knauf. All right, so this is the moment Meghan Markle supporter Dr. Shola Shobamamu refused to go on with interview until presenter Don Neeson pronounced her name correctly. So Dr. Shola was not having it. Dr. Shola said, you will pronounce it. And so she tried to get around it. She tried to do otherwise, and Dr. Shola was not having it. Pronounce my name. Now, someone has said earlier that those names are listed phonetically on the teleprompter or on the, whatever they use, and that there's really no excuse why you would not be able to sound it out. Shogbamimu. Shobagmimu. Most Shogbamimu. Right? It's just that simple. These are syllables that we use every day. They are not some type of like other type of pronunciation from how we would pronounce it in the English language. So you are going to say it correct. And that's what Dr. Shola made her do. And Dr. Shola was not going to budge until she got it right. So good for you, Dr. Shola, not allowing them to other you. So that happened today. Let me see. Okay, they don't. Oh, there it is.
To be joined by a lawyer, Dr. Shola Moschuk. How do I pronounce your name, Shola?
Read it, my darling. Read it.
Shogbamimu. Okay. So this is terrible.
I know, it's
especially
terrible.
for
I can't-
presenting.
it's not easy,
Okay,
Gemma. Give her a break. It's not
okay,
easy.
go back and start again.
Right,
Just
okay,
leave
show
it.
up,
Yeah,
Moss.
phonetically.
Shog, mam, emu.
Start, do it again.
Oh, come on,
No,
show. I got the
do-
show right.
Do
Did you just hear her say show emu? Did you all just hear her say emu? She tried to be funny.
it again.
Show
And read it
up, Moss.
phonetically.
Shog, mam, emu.
You just missed the beat. Try again. Go on.
Shola, welcome to the show.
No, you will say my name. Now read it phonetically.
Shola, Shog, bam, emu.
Okay, show by Mimo, but well
There you
done.
go, great accent. And absolutely thrilled to be joined by a lawyer, Dr. Shola Moschuk. How do I pronounce your name, Shola?
Read it, my darling. Read it.
Shog, bam, imubu.
Okay. So this is terrible.
I know, it's
especially
terrible.
for
I can't, it's
presenting.
not easy, Gemma. Give her a break.
So she kept skipping part of it. She kept skipping part of it, but Dr. Shola stayed in there and made sure she got it right. She was trying to other her. Oh, thank you so much for that, Teresa McDougall. You guys hear that? Spare is #1 this week on Amazon. There you go. And so this right here, I'm not going to play the sound for this, but I just want you guys to see ABC's Good Morning America. They decided to, and this was before all this other news came out. I think I saved this last night. So they decided that they are going to really try to talk up Charles and Camilla. Oh, did they? I mean, the excitement, the inflection that they gave, and oh my goodness, it was just this woman said something about, I can't believe we're here and this is history. And of course, she said, wait for it, 1,000 years. Of course, they always throw that 1,000 years in there. Well, take a look at this. And as I'm watching it, there's Victoria Murphy, check. There's Robert Jobson, check. Of course, these are a couple of the royal experts. Let me see. Victoria Murphy, contributing editor, Town and Country. Robert Jobson, contributor, royal editor, The Evening Standard. So they had to, excuse me. They had to get a couple of English accents in there to make it more credible, right? Now, let me show you how people replied to it. If Charles had a spine, he could have saved Lady Diana a lot of hurt and simply refused to listen to his mummy and refused to marry someone that he was set up with to begin with. Instead, he decided to keep his affair with Camilla going during his marriage just so he didn't disturb what others expected of him. What a shame. This is in the comments. Diana will always be the real queen. And then, of course, it goes on. I don't think it's right for her to hold the title queen since she destroyed 2 marriages. Honestly, I don't think he should be king. The crown and title should have skipped down to William and Kate. Ugh. And then right here, a love story. She is a home wrecker. He broke his family for her. And then Susan E. says, if Camilla had been free to be King Charles' only bride, I wonder if that could have short-circuited all of the pain and adultery and betrayals and hurt and Diana's death, which continued to haunt the royal family since 1981. We shall never know. Incredibly painful and embarrassing to play out on the world stage. I see little hope of father, son, or brother and brother reconcile unless Harry returns permanently to the UK and the men of the royal family work out their relationship with a therapist. Well, that's a bit of a stretch, but okay. And then here it says, oh, let me pull that down. I can't see that one. Diana was too good for Charles, but honestly, he loved Camilla for decades. Love is love. So that one is probably a robot. And then right here, it says, laugh out loud, love story of an adulterer. Though it's clear it's been a long lasting love, but still it happened while she was married to someone else. And Sis says, I like that already. Sis says she fits Cruella de Vil. And then here it says it's Diana's moment. And this is, coverage of the coronation. If they wanted to be together so badly, they should have just left Diana alone. I'll never understand why Charles had to destroy her when she knew all along that when he knew all along that he loved Camilla instead. And this is just a sample. And it's much the same on all social media. Charles should have given his throne to William. It's funny how they changed the rules of 1,000 years to suit Charles and Camilla's divorced adulterers, which is true. That Charles is supposed to be ineligible, but they changed the rules. And then here's the last one I have. This is not a love story. Too late to change the narrative about these two people now. Y'all should have known better, but you're media, so you'll try anything. I'm gonna give her a bell. All right, so Leg says it made my day to hear someone say that Baldy went from hunk to skunk. When you wallow in crap, don't be surprised if you stink. God don't like ugly. Well, thank you so much for that, Legs. Yes, from hunk to skunk. Now, who wore it best, you guys? We got to know this. Who wore it best? Is it Flavor Flav or Charles? Who wore it best? Somebody's got to come out on top. Flavor Flav or Charles III? I'm going to say that definitely Charles' outfit is likely more expensive, but I'm going to say it lacks creativeness, like the big bows on the shoulder and stuff like that. So thumbs down. And then right here, King Charles and Camilla, Queen Consort. Did they call her Queen Consort? Visit that's passive aggressive. Didn't they just make it a point about calling her Queen Camilla? King Charles and Camilla Queen Consort visit Eurovision Song Contest venue in, there you go, Liverpool. That's why, Liverpool. That's all you had to see was Liverpool, and that explains it. So, yeah, I totally understand. Liverpool. Liverpool don't give a rat's behind. And then right here, 10 million Americans watch Coronation. 80% were over 50, were 55 or older. 80% of the American audience was older. 80%. So if they're trying to win over the Americans, if they're trying to have some kind of swag over here, it ain't working. As a matter of fact, the Daily Mail was very wise to try to target the kids on TikTok, but them kids ain't going for it. Harry has done way more to change the narrative about that institution than we could possibly give him credit for. Well, I take that back. As squatties, we know, but I don't think that it has really sunk in to most people that the narrative is permanently changed. And by the end of this trial, there are going to be some people in the media that are going to be dead in the water. All right, so Renaissance World Tour starts today. I think, where are they at? In Sweden? Stockholm, Sweden? Yeah, I think they're in Stockholm. So that starts today. And wait a minute. I think there's this one right here. So this lady, Prince of Wales, chatted with Dame Elizabeth Watts, 93, who revealed she had slept on the pavement for 3 nights to see Queen Elizabeth II on her coronation date in 1953. The 93-year-old guest at the special coronation garden party at Buckingham Palace revealed Prince William. She watched revealed to Prince William, rather. She watched his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, crowned 70 years ago. Dame Elizabeth Watts was dressed to the nines in a green maxi dress with a wild print, told the Prince of Wales 41. She had slept on the street for 3 nights in order to catch a glimpse of Her late Majesty the Queen Elizabeth before her coronation ceremony in June 1953. So notice the difference, though. This is the same lady that has greeted Harry in the past. And look at the warmth and the connection between Prince and Dame. Look at the connection. And then with William, it's more like this formal, cold, rather, she just didn't have that same connection with him. Same lady, vastly different connection. So, oh, you know what? I take that back. It's not the same lady. That's the one in Australia. Glad I caught that. That's the one in Australia. I take that back. I recognize her. She's the one in Australia, the one whose husband was a veteran. And I think she passed away before the pandemic. Yes, I remember where I saw her before. Okay. But yeah, so anyway, but one of the squaddies posted that so you could see the difference between the connection of that lady in her 90s and the other lady in her 90s. And with that, you guys, I am done. I am so done. Yes, she passed away. I remember that now. Okay, and Leg says, did Mr. Peanut and Lurch have a child? Oh, you're talking about William's photo. He does look like Mr. Peanut / Lurch from Addams Family. Oh my God, he does look like Mr. Peanut. Thank you so much, Legs. All right, thank you guys. It has been a pleasure. Sorry to keep y'all up so late today. I will see y'all tomorrow. I have my aunt tomorrow, so I will probably be on. I'm going to try to be on by 3 my time tomorrow. So maybe about 3 hours sooner than I was. Well, about 2 hours sooner than I was on today. So I will get as much of my prepping done tonight so that I won't have such a. I had to run an errand today, though. So I was out most of the morning, but I will try to be on a little earlier tomorrow, but only slightly so. But yes, so thank you all so much. Sleep well. Thank you guys for the very generous donations for making me blush earlier. I really, really appreciate the love. Let's see. And thank you to our queens, our queen that is looking down joyfully as Harry brings out the truth, whether or not people want to hear it. Harry is doing the Lord's work. And thank you, Doria, for being the rock. All right. So let me see here. Thank you, moderators. And I think that's it. And Church Nelly, get well fast. Oh, by the way, you guys, I think Jerry White, who we were praying for last week, she can't say enough how much she appreciates your prayers. And she feels as though that is the likely reason why she is going to walk out of the hospital as opposed to otherwise. She wasn't sure how it was going to go, but through lots of prayer and support, she is actually out of pain for the first time in years. I think she said she's not in pain. So how's that? You guys did that. So thank you so much. And I will see you all tomorrow. Love you guys. And I will, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And so I'm going to cue the Ginger Avenger. Let me get Mr. Peanut off of this screen. We don't need that, do we? Let me find something else. Get rid of Mr. Peanut. I rather like this. There we go. There we go. I just love that. It just feels like it's got, I like the texture. It looks like tiles, right? It looks like blue tiles, like some of those tiles that you get from Spain, right? I love that. That is beautiful. There's some of the most beautiful tiles in Spain. Beautiful, beautiful tiles. Okay. Love you guys. I will see you. I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger, and I will see you all tomorrow. Nice work, Harry. Nice work. I love being on the winning team. I love being on a winning team. There's nothing else like it. And remember, there are no leaks in Montecito. There are no leaks. Oh, thank you, Iris. I forgot the last word of the day. Good night, and God us all. Yes, and God protect us all. Thank you so much, Iris. Forgot the last word. I knew it was something. I was just sitting there. I'm just like, what am I forgetting? I don't know. I went to Trader Joe's. I'm sitting up here thinking about all the delicious food I bought. Can't wait to get in there. Oh, thank you, Valerie. Yep, I bought some delicious stuff. Ooh, I can't wait. Okay, see y'all.